Hey guys, so today I have a kind of little review on the Nails Ink spray can polish. I have had this for a couple of weeks now. Just started playing around with it really in the last couple of days. They're not available right now in the US. I think they're going to be in the new year, but for now they're not. My lovely friend Amy over in the UK muled this over to me so I could do a review. She's awesome. Her channel is Nail Polish Baby 90, so I will link her channel down below so you can check her out. Like I said, she's awesome. Everybody needs an Amy. So there are two colors for this product. There is a silver and then there is this pink. This pink is Hoxton Market. I didn't get the silver, just got the pink. Didn't want to spend the 30 bucks on two cans. So the whole idea around this is that it is a fast, easy way to do a perfect manicure. You spray it on your nails, you wash your hands, and it comes off of the skin around your nails and you have a perfect manicure. I had a really hard time with this. I did end up, in the end, I got a pretty decent looking manicure out of it, but I did have to use nearly the entire can to get there. The instructions here are that you apply a base coat, you let the base coat dry, you spray the polish over your nails, it sticks to the base coat but not sticks to the skin. You apply your top coat and then you wash your hands, and all the polish comes off of everywhere that's not top coat and base coated. And then you've got your perfect manicure. So the first quite a few times that I did this, I did it totally backwards. And you'll see in my clip when I'm washing my hands, I don't have a top coat on. I did my top coat after I washed my hands, so it wasn't until the last couple times that I realized I was doing that backwards, and that's when I got a pretty decent manicure out of it. There was a lot of trial and error here, so I'm trying to think of where to start talking about it. The very first thing when I got it, I was really, really antsy about it, so I put a base coat on, and I don't think I let the base coat dry completely, because it was kind of, it was very lumpy looking, and it even started to crack, right away. You could see cracks through the polish. So that was, I think, me just not having the base coat on, or not letting the base coat dry enough. So I took that off and I started over again. I did try it with a few different base coats. So the two that I can tell you it does not work with, it does not work for me, at least with a ridge filling base coat. This is the Essie Ridge Filler. It kind of melted the base coat when I sprayed it on, and it got weird, and then it slid right off when I washed my hands. The other one is the OPI Natural Nail Base Coat. This is their peel-off base coat. I didn't think this was going to work because it is like a white glue-based peel-off base coat, and white glue is washable. It's washes off with soap and water, so I assumed that this was going to wash right off, and it did. Came right off when I washed my hands. I did also try it with a non-white glue peel-off base coat. I used the Yellow Stopper from American Standard Beauty or whatever it is. You can get this at Sally's. This is not a base coat. It's not a peel-off base coat. This is meant to keep gel or acrylic nails from turning yellow in the sunlight. It's like a UV kind of thing. It's not supposed to keep your nails from turning yellow from polish either. That's not how it works. It worked with this, no problem, actually. The one that I had the best results with was the C&D Sticky. I didn't try it with a Nails Ink base coat, which of course they recommend on the back of the can because they're trying to sell it. But yeah, I used the C&D Sticky, and that's when I got my really good results. You apply your base coat, you spray this on. I sprayed this on my nails, and it seemed a little bit sheer still. So I did end up doing a second coat of it. I let it dry for, a good 5 minutes or so, and then I sprayed another coat over it, and you got to shake it up really, really good too. One thing that I came across when I was spraying it is that I was trying to keep it shaken, so I shake, spray a little bit, shake, spray a little bit, and it was building up. The nozzle's messy, and I tried to clean it off, but it was building up around this nozzle so much that when I'd shake, pink was spraying all over my room, droplets of it was flinging off the can as I shook it. So that got really messy really quickly. I did make sure to put a lot of surface protection down. I was terrified to spray it because I didn't know where it was going to go. It says to go about 10 to 15 centimeters away from your nails, which is 4 and 6 inches. So you do have to be relatively close. But yeah, it didn't have a huge, I would say, okay, if I had 4 to 6 inches from my nails, I probably had a spray radius. I did it on paper towels of a foot. So I had pink, around a foot around my nails. So it really did get everywhere. And I'm trying to think of where a good place in a house would be to do this if you're going to do it regularly, where it wouldn't get all over the place. And really, I would take it outside. Personally, I would do it outside or do it in a garage because I did get pink spray pretty, you know, a pretty wide area around my nails. In addition to that, if you're going to shake it in between, there's like pink droplets going everywhere. So after you have your 2 coats on, you sit there, you let that dry completely, and then you put on your top coat. Now, what I had done the first couple of times, because I just skimmed the instructions, I didn't really read them that well, is that I did my top coat, I washed my hands and then did my top coat. When I did it that way, I had like instant bubbles. Like the second I put the top coat on my nail, I had huge bubbles. So don't do that. Definitely follow the instructions and let it dry completely, then put your top coat on. And so I did it that way, and it was fairly smooth. The top coat dried very porous looking. It was very bumpy. I liked the color a lot before I put the top coat on, and then it became a little bit deeper of a pink after the top coat, and I didn't like it as much. But it did end up with 1 coat of top coat. It was very porous and very like lumpy, and it didn't look good at all. And actually, it's funny because that instance right there, I'm kind of describing the one time that I got it to work. But when I did it that way, that was like the best it's looked, and it was still pretty lumpy and pretty not good. Then you're going to wash your hands. I went into the bathroom, I washed my hands, and I had pink. I mean, it was like up under my cuticles. It was down like under my nail and under here. It was everywhere. So I had to make sure that my top coat was 100% dry before I wash my hands, because I ended up having to wash my hands twice. I washed them once and I still had pink like all over the place around my nails. So I had to go back into the bathroom, wash my hands again, and this time I took like a nail brush, like a scrubbing brush, and had to scrub like up under my cuticles, down the sides of my nails, underneath my nails. It was pink everywhere. So I had to scrub. And even then, after the second time washing my hands, I still had pink, you know, deep down into the crevices of places that you would really, I mean, if you've painted your nails regularly, for even a handful of times, you would not have polish like that much all over your fingers if you painted your nails normally. So then I had to go get my acetone and my cleanup brush, and I had to go under my cuticles, down the sides, and try to get that pink out from under all of those little skin flaps, I guess. It's gross. But that's what I had to do. I had to, you know, after washing my hands twice, scrubbing with a nail brush, I had to take the acetone and I had to go through there again. Then after that was all done, I had to put a second coat of top coat on to try to smooth it out, because it was still very porous and very lumpy. I still had a few bubbles. It wasn't nearly as bad as when I did the top coat in the wrong order, but even doing it in the right order, I still had a few bubbles. So I had to smooth it out with the second coat of top coat. That did make it glossy and smooth. Overall, this took me probably trial and error multiple times. I probably had to spray it on my nails like 6 times. Granted, I was doing it wrong for the first like 3. You know, you have to be kind of specific with your base coat. I did have to wash my hands twice. I still had to do some cleanup afterwards before I thought I had like a swatch picture quality manicure. 2 coats of top coat. I could have probably had a full regular manicure done, dried with glitter in the time it took me to do just this. And honestly, I didn't really like the results that much. Like, I don't think this was worth it. I think this is a very, very good idea. I do think that this is a good idea, but I think in this specific execution of that idea, it doesn't work. It works, but I don't think it works as far as being time-saving and easy for people that don't want to have to do cleanup and don't want to have to wait for things to dry, because you still have to do cleanup. You still have to really wait for things to dry. There's a lot of extra steps and it's messy. Overall, I think you can get it to work if you really want it. I suggest buying 2 cans, because your first can is going to be nearly gone by the time you actually get it to work. It does take some trial and error. It does take some combination of products. It's not an easy, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think it sucks. Especially being around $15 US, that's a lot, especially when really for me, I had to use almost the entire can before I figured it out and got the right combination of products and actually got a smooth, decent manicure. The last 3 times that I did do all 3 of those times correctly with the top coat before my hands were washed. The very last one turned out good, and that's when I sat down and filmed the video. The first couple before that were done correctly were still lumpy. They were still very messy. And then after I took the polish off, my nails were stained. My nails and my skin around them were pink. They're still a little bit pink. So it can work. It can work, and it can turn out well, and it can turn out clean and smooth, and it is possible. But it just takes so much work to get up to that point that I don't think it's worth the effort. I don't think it's worth the cost. And it just seems like a lot of work a lot of work for a product that's supposed to save time and cut steps. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.